What up, guys? GM, GM. What is going on? Uh, um, hold up. I always do. There we go. All right, cool beans. What up, guys? Hope everybody's doing well on this fine evening. How'd you guys do this AM session? Everybody do good? Or what? How'd you guys do in the AM? Super, super clean AM session. What up, what up, what up? What up, everybody? Ended up $500 across my 3 MFF funded. Let's go, bro. Hell yeah. Yeah, AM session was super clean, bro. I'm very, very satisfied with today's sesh. Super nice. It's very, very clean. I'll run you guys through a little bit of a breakdown of the trade that I took today. The one that I had for this morning. I'll run you guys through that. Actually, I'll just do that right now so that everybody that comes and joins later, I can tell them to fuck off and watch the stream. Okay, so this AM, I was coming in. Initially, I was looking for shorts, but then I saw this. I told you guys this yesterday in yesterday's live stream, okay? And it was something that I had told my Discord on Monday. But I gave it to you guys yesterday as well. A little bit of sauce. Does anybody remember what I told you guys regarding the midnight level? Does anybody remember? There's a trade cooking up here, by the way, guys. Trade cooking. So I told you guys how if we opened up midnight, like we do here, right? We opened up midnight and we moved away from it without a proper manipulation leg, that we would make a move back down to midnight and just long midnight. Okay, that's been the theme all week long. And again, it played out today. So we had this midnight level. Now, most importantly, at the midnight level, we had several areas of support. Okay, so we had this 15-minute fair value gap here. We had an hourly fair value gap there. And we had a 4-hour fair value gap there, right? Multiple gaps on multiple different time frames. So the trade that I ended up actually taking was this trade right here. So this one, the 1 minute change in state of delivery right there. I ended up tape reading this. I didn't take this off the bat, but this was a clean little tape read for me. And I actually got my entry a little later, like within here is where I got my entry. Right there, that's where I got it. It was right around this candle, risking like somewhere around there, something like that. Actually, I think it was risking much less than that. It's probably something like this. So this was the trade of the day, and there you go. It hits TP. That was a super, super clean trade. And then there was another trade that had popped up later on in the session on, we had like a fat pullback. I think this might have been it, actually. Yeah, this was it. Right there. On that pullback, there was another entry that I had also tape read. So, yeah, like really, really clean price action across the bat. Was really, really happy with today, bro. Not gonna lie. So hopefully get some sort of continuation of like nice clean sessions. One thing I'm watching here in Asia on the Nasdaq. Fuck me, I just missed the gold entry.
Order filled.
Holy slippage. I got in on gold here, guys. Let me actually pull up gold. I got in on gold. Put a stop down there.
Order filled.
Want two of these. All right, I took a gold entry here. We have a, so main thing here is going to be this 4-hour candle with no upper wick. I'm going to target that upper wick. And then the 5-minute fair value gap and the 1-minute inversion fair value gap. I wanted to enter on the 1-minute inversion and I missed the entry explaining the setup to you guys. But yeah, trying this trade out here. Looking for the highs, 4-hour highs on gold. I think could be super clean. That plays out the way I want it to. This is a really nice look. Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to try this. This is nice. And then I'll have NQ pulled up here as well. Because I want to watch NQ. We have a 4-hour fair value gap on NQ. And I think that could be like pretty solid to long from. Or maybe even short down into. We just don't have any like pity arrays here on NQ that I could use. So, like kind of iffy, but I like shorts on NQ and longs on gold. Oh my god, this is gonna stop me out. Yeah, this trade, bro, low key, like shouldn't have chased that entry. That's shitty execution on my part, but oh my god, that was such a good setup down at that 1-minute inversion. I should have entered that. And then I think sooner or later we'll get an entry for NQ. I think they can create like a 5-minute or maybe even a 15. I would be down to get some shorts in on the Nasdaq. Mm, Platinum. I want to watch Platinum too. I haven't traded Platinum in a little bit, but it looks like pretty solid. Oh my god, bro. Yeah, Platinum, unreal. Fucking insane move on Platinum. Wow.
Stop filled.
Gold. Yeah, I'm just
Order
gonna close
filled.
gold out. That was a shitty ass entry that I got on it. Not gonna lie. Should be a different setup on gold that might play out. Maybe after previous day low sweep or something. I don't really see a setup, like an actionable setup here on Platinum. That's the only issue. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't really look at copper now, bro. Never really looked at copper. I like Platinum shorts. Platinum for short looks pretty good. Maybe into at least like 14, 18, like low 18s. I think could be good. I don't see like like an actual setup I could take. But these are, yeah, for sure the metals are looking way better, like way better than NQ though. Not gonna lie. Insanely better than NQ. Your code is still 80%. My act just bugged out. Mad retarded. Yeah, bro. Code is still 80%. By the way, it's 80% until July 8th, I believe, or something like that. I think it was July 8th. The email got sent out today. But I believe it's July 8th. 80% is over, so. Damn, bro. I want to get an entry here on Platinum especially. Tonight's stream, by the way, guys, gonna be ending early. I told you guys yesterday, I'm not like staying on super late tonight because we have 8:30 a.m. news again tomorrow. Remember last night's stream didn't go all that great because we have 8:30 a.m. news, and whenever we have data in the morning, market tends to move like shit during Asia and London. So expecting the same thing here today. So I'm gonna be like quick to call it. I realistically I want like one trade here and I'm happy. Okay. I don't want anything more than that. I'm good with one trade. Um, but it's gonna have to be on these metals. I'm not gonna lie. Gonna have to be on the metals because I don't know, boys. I don't know. NQ not really moving. What stream setup do you use? I didn't make this, bro. Somebody made it for me. Gold. Do I want to try another stab at gold? I might. I don't know, bro. Gold like still doesn't look bad to me. Fuck. Oh my god. She's moving. I think I'm gonna look for an entry here on gold. Still want gold longs, to be very honest. But let's see. Like I'm open to whatever. Our bearish PDRA is up here. We have an hourly gap up there. So we have that. We'll try one. Stop at 33.27. This low. Only one so far. I'm willing to add two more to this for 3 total. But I would like to see it like, you know, start moving at least. I'm using quick stops instead of using a stop at the low. Just because if this is wrong, I'd rather be wrong like quickly than stay in this trade, you know, for a while. Yeah, bullish on gold for now. You get in one PLHGS. Yeah, I just use so I use like GC1 or PL1, and then I have it adjusted to the current contract change. So I never switch off of, like, I don't use the current contract ever. Well, the contract chart to execute, at least. I'll use GC1, PL1, and then I can basically just go from there. Maybe add like 1 or 2 more here to gold would be the move. But this is like nicely in profit right now. I shouldn't have, my execution previously here was really, really shitty. I should have waited to execute on that trade. So that's on me. That was like a super unnecessary fucking loss that I took. Powell testifying. Yeah, we got a bunch of news happening right now. See. See what happens. If we can close this candle here, like above 32, we can close above 32. I will add on a pullback. I would like kind of the same ads, 31s, 30s ads, and then, you know, potential reversal from there. Either that or this is just gonna fly. But this is a solid trade here. I like this a lot. This should wipe away that loss. Stupid fucking loss I took earlier. Yeah, I like this a lot. Not gonna lie, boys. Not gonna lie. Take the 5-minute tab and 1-minute inverse. Bro, I was trying to get that 1-minute inverse Manoli, and I was fucking explaining my NQ trade, and I missed it. Then I chased it. Look, here's my executions. Look at this bullshit, bro. I like dumbest shit ever. I'm so mad. I chased it at the highs with a quick stop, got stopped out, and then this is my second try. But I would have been in that trade, and it would have been chilling had I not missed my fucking entry, bro. I'm so mad. That shit like that, bro, gets me fucking tight when I know I got like, or when I know I could have gotten a really good entry and then I missed the entry. Super annoying. Here we go. Nice closure there. If we can trade back to like 32s, I will get another ad. Same stop too. I would just like to trade back into 32s. Holy big dump on NQ. You guys saw that? Yeah, bro. That's how you know somebody's fucking talking. Badass dump on NQ. And they bought it back up. Yeah, this might just go, bro. I don't know if this is gonna give me the pullback I want. Does GC move the same as XAUUSD? I don't know, bro. I don't use XAUUSD. TBH. Gold is so sexy, bro. Actually, it's not sexy yet. I need to see a hit TP. Then it's sexy. Oh, gold. Take me to my TP. Thank you. This can be like my trade, bro. I just call it a day after this. I can call it a stream after this trade if this plays out. So, please. Any eyes on NQ? I'm watching it. It's on the side. It's like literally next to this chart. You guys just don't see it. Thoughts on Zeusy? I don't know. I don't fucking know the guy. Heard he's a scammer though. Yo, what's good, Clippy? Do you want to know my entry or my TP or my stop loss? Which one is it today? Best broker to use for small accounts like 300 to 500. AMP or Tradeabate. Tradeabate slash Ninja Trader. Long in the 4-hour gap. Yeah. Yeah, that's like I think that's the move. Long in the 4-hour gap is the move. Bro, I'm trying to add like one more here on gold. If I can get this 32 pullback. I'm short to the 4-hour gap. Yeah, that's like not a bad look. That's what I wanted as well, but I just don't see a clean enough setup. The 10 a.m. candle, correct? What? Oh, for the 4-hour gap, yeah. 15-minute BISI was inverse with a 15-minute SIBI, and we got 1 minute CISD out of that to go lower. Where the hell oh, yeah, the 15-minute SIBI. I missed that. I wasn't on the charts when that happened. So that was weird. Opened my YouTube on your stream. What do you mean? Like you opened YouTube and it was already on my stream? That's a sign, bro. That's what that is. It's a sign from the universe. There's the retest. Maybe I'll add one here. Potentially. Potential ads incoming over here. I'm not going to jump the gun. I'm going to wait a sec.
Order filled.
All right, going to get one more ad right there. Stop is going to be the same. It's kind of wide, but gotta go with it. Gotta go with it. When I move your stop under the 5-minute gap, well, it is. This would technically be like where it would invalidate. If we get a full candle closure underneath the 5-minute gap, I'll just manually close it out, basically. See that right there, no good, right? No good. Full candle closure underneath the 5-minute fair value gap. I'll give it a second to behave, but if it does not behave, I will just manually close it out before it even gets to my stop loss. MGC didn't. Yeah, I don't know, bro. GC did, and I'm in on GC. Yeah, we have this 3-minute gap here. I saw this earlier. We got a 1-minute gap too. I'll give it a sec. I have a problem. My stop loss placement, I target 3 RR every trade. If I make my stop small, market hit stop and move. If I make it bigger, market will not hit my full TP. Your stop loss placement is not your problem there, bro. It's most likely the setup. Also, I feel like some of you guys are like easily discouraged by the market and the way it's moving. I just want you to know this is like a phase, right? That a market is going through. It's like a teenager phase that the market is going through where it's being rebellious and shit. This is not how the market is like year round, right? If you traded last year, then you know that, okay? Or if you traded earlier this year, then you know that. So, point of a market like this is to survive, right? All you got to do is survive. If you can survive, you're good. But the way you survive is by not being an idiot, sizing in heavy and, all of the bullshit that you shouldn't be doing. That's how you survive, is by not doing that. Okay? So that should be your goal, is survival, not making a lot of money in this market. Yeah, I'm not liking this. I'm just going to go ahead and close that early. Don't really like that. It's not respecting the way I would like to see it respect. Even though there's 4 hours bearish, where are we pushing out of? We didn't hit the 1 hour gap there either. All we did was hit this little volume imbalance on the hourly. That's what this thing is rejecting out of right now. I don't know. We'll see. Lost all my profit from the morning to the sad Asia key flow patch. Bro, I told you guys tonight and last night were going to be ass. I don't know why people like love sizing in fucking heavy and shit like that, bro. Like, what's the point? Why do you guys do that? I told you shit is ass. Told you it's gonna be garbage today. And yesterday. On NQ AM session, how do you know if the FVG has been tested enough to hold or wait for a deep pullback before entering, or do you just enter once it's tapped in? No, I have a confirmation entry model. And once I get that entry model, I enter the trade. So usually that would entail something like, let's say if it's a bullish 15-minute fair value gap, right? I would look for a bearish, right? Bearish gap to be disrespected on a lower time frame. Then I would enter. I still struggle to determine when the day is going to be lower probability. Do you have any tips for that? So for Asia, it's really simple. Asia, so fucking easy. So the Asia sesh, the way you know Asia is going to be trash is if you have 8:30 a.m. news the next day. If you have 8:30 a.m. news the next day, Asia is going to be trash, okay? Because that is a New York reversal daily profile. Now, let's say you're talking about New York. How do you determine if it's going to be lower probability or higher probability? You know, whatnot. Typically, what I like to look at are going to be weekly and daily PO3s. Okay, if you have a very, very clear weekly or a daily PO3, then you're most likely going to have a pretty clean trading day. So, for example, here on gold, this was last night. We traded the short on gold, and now I didn't get the entry that I wanted to, but as you can see, we had a daily candle open up and push into this fair value gap, right? Once we pushed into that fair value gap, we got a move lower, right? But that is a very clear daily PO3. Like I can look at this daily candle, and once this daily opens and we have the daily fair value gap right above and low right below, I know that most likely price is gonna go for that low, right? Very, very simple. So that to me would be a high probability day. This Thursday here would be high probability. This day before Wednesday, this to me would be low probability. Why? Because we took these lows right here after a big, big range, right? Tuesday had a fat range and it went straight for these lows. So usually whenever you have this big of a range and it sweeps liquidity, you have a little bit of a consolidation on that time frame. So here we would have a daily consolidation, which is what we're seeing before we make a move, right? We don't go from an expansion into a reversal. We go from an expansion to a consolidation and then a reversal. Okay, expansion does not just reverse right away, right? So that, keeping that in mind, you can assume that this day, Wednesday, was going to be pretty trash. Yeah, you just use like higher time frames like this to determine if it's going to be bad or not, and then obviously you use the economic calendar. So if it's FOMC week, the days before FOMC are going to be trash, right? Pretty simple. So we wouldn't be looking to trade those pre FOMC days because we know that they're going to be trash. That's already implied. So yeah, that's a little sauce on That's a little sauce on how you get that. Do you ever trade London? Rarely now. I used to, but now not anymore. Just because New York has been like a little bit better, so there's no reason for me to realistically trade London. Um, Great analogy on market conditions. I wasn't trading last year at this time, but I've been trading since August of last year. I've been studying the market and studying and watching market like my 3-year-old nonstop. Yeah, I mean, you will get there, eventually. Take some time, but it'll come. It'll come to you. Do you know if tomorrow 8:30 a.m. red folder will be a wick play opportunity? I don't know. I don't think so. I really don't think so, but who knows? I like that you don't even really get phased when your P&L goes from green to red. That shit annoys me, but I know it's a mindset thing. Yeah, it's 100% a mindset thing, bro. It's always a mindset thing. It kind of spills into what I was talking about yesterday with a just a long-term plan instead of just looking at losses from a day-to-day perspective or trade-to-trade perspective. Um, just look at things from like a much longer term view, right? Even the guy who just started trading, okay, for example, and this is the first kind of market that he's trading. That is probably the most discouraging thing in the entire world because, you are trading in the worst of the worst conditions. You're learning how to trade in the worst market conditions that we've had in the recent years. Okay, so um you have to think long term and you have to think, okay, if I can make it through this and I can just survive here, I will be perfectly fine when the market comes to a point where it's normal again. um you know what I mean? Like, look, there's in anything that you do, if you basically train in the worst conditions possible. Okay, I'll give you guys an example. Okay. I started snowboarding recently. Okay, I started snowboarding probably like 2-3 years ago. Now I'm in the East Coast. If you do any kind of snow sports and maybe even snowboarding, you know that the East Coast is legitimately like the worst place to do that. Okay, ski or snowboard, the worst place. Aside from like you got to go to like Colorado or even to the Alps or somewhere, and then you have much better conditions and it's easier to do that. Now, if you learn here in the East Coast, they say that you're learning in the worst conditions, so you can do it anywhere. If you learn how to ski here, you can ski anywhere. If you learn how to snowboard here, you can do that anywhere. Same kind of thing applies here, right? If you learn how to trade in this kind of market, the worst kind of market there is, then you can do it in any kind of market, right? You become basically an expert in any kind of market. Because I'll tell you guys right now, from here, from this point, right? Like the way the market is right now and in the situation that most of you guys might be in, it only gets better from here, right? Like it physically cannot get worse. If the market gets worse from here, I would be pleasantly surprised, right? It would require a lot, but like some sort of black swan event or something. But when this market is not artificially held up anymore and we can get like a nice deep retracement and then a move back up, dude, I'm telling you, it's gonna open up a lot of your guys' eyes, and then you'll be like, okay, all that shit that I went through is worth it. All that shit that I went through for months and months, like, just sticking to it was worth it. Telling you guys right now, that's exactly what's gonna happen. That's what happened to me, right? Um, when I started trading, the conditions weren't the greatest. I learned in those conditions, and the bull market came around right after COVID, and I was able to capitalize on the entire move because I knew how to trade, right? Do you see NQ going down to 14,500? Jeez, Brev. I don't know about 14,500, bro. That would be like, that would be a little bit crazy. Oh my god. NQ pumped. Are you going back in on gold? Nah, I'm just watching it for now. Matter of fact, like now that NQ is moving, let's switch over here. I don't know what the hell it's trying to do, but I'll watch it. Oh my god, platinum, bro. Oh my god. Oh my god. Unreal, bro. Gnarly move on platinum, dude. Wow. Should have traded that short. Yeah, I got like maybe one more trade in me. I'm giving it to 10. If I don't see anything, I'm out. And I would recommend the same thing to like all you guys. It's genuinely not worth staying here for a while. Tonight especially. It really isn't, okay? So, my 2 cents there, all right? Why is that? Same reason why I told you guys yesterday, because we have 8:30 a.m. news tomorrow morning. First person, by the way, first person to tell me, first person to tell me what the 8:30 a.m. news means, and why that means Asia's going to be trash, free funded. Let me know. Who remembers what I said? FOMC. FOMC. What do you mean FOMC? The correct answer is daily profile, which Travi got. So Travy, open up. Well, yeah, the best way for me to reach you here is going to be open up a ticket in the Discord, and I will get you your free account. News will be manipulation. 9:30 distribution. Yep, there you go. You got it. Good job. Are you gonna be on live for news? No, that's not like a news. That's not really a news event that's gonna like do anything worth it. It's not gonna make like a crazy enough move. You think we just chop from here? Or we can take lows on GC? No, we could. I'm not saying we can't. But it's just going to be slow. It's going to be way too slow. Too slow for my liking, at least. And it's just not high probability at all. So, not entirely worth it, in my opinion. Even NQ, I mean, look at NQ. It's stuck in a range. We haven't went anywhere. We haven't done anything here. So I wouldn't expect anything insane to happen. Maybe if a trade pops up, it'd be post midnight. Midnight would be like, you know, midnight would be half decent, I think. Can present a setup there. But other than that, no, I'm not really interested in anything. Going into tomorrow, I am expecting a move lower. Okay. Because that is what the weekly profile suggests. So we have a week where we had new highs every single day, right? This is Monday down here. So Monday was low of the week, new high Tuesday, new high Wednesday, new high Thursday. So Friday generally is a return to the mean. So I think maybe we take this 742 high. The 742 high is important because it's a daily swing high. Maybe we take that and then we make a move lower. But I think it's not going to actually get the manipulation leg here for the daily until midnight. So midnight opens up. We manipulate above midnight and then we make a move lower. So if you're looking for an overnight trade, I will be looking for an overnight trade. If I get into something, anybody that's in the Discord, you guys will get my alert. But I'm going to be looking for shorts above midnight to then pretty much just hold through the morning session. That's going to be my goal here. So, yeah, that'll be the move. Do you live stream New York session? Do you have a membership for it? I've learned more from you in the past hour than I have from others in a year. Yeah, so I do have a Discord. I do stream New York in there. Discord is the first link in the description. It's free for your first 7 days. So you can come hang out 7 days. If you don't like it, cancel. Free. If you like it, you can stay. Yeah, that's my plan though. Going into this next sesh on Friday. If we push into this 4 hour, I think it could be pretty decent. We got a new 4 hour here as well. If we push into this 4 hour, I would long here into the highs at 742. Okay. And 742 highs, I would be short there. Either way, if we have not taken these highs at midnight, then I would look for midnight to take them and then move lower. If we take them before midnight and then already get the move lower before midnight happens, then I would be still looking to short midnight. Okay. So yeah, that's the plan. I'm gonna leave you guys with that. Sorry for the short stream, but just not worth sitting here today. I told you guys that yesterday too. And I will see you guys on Sunday night. And for everybody in the Discord, I'll see you guys on tomorrow morning. Have a good one, guys.